Chronicles of Qutis, Forerunners, Chapter 6, Rats. Zagahta, a small trade town significant only as a stop to some of the larger cities in Qutis, now has new significance to our heroes. On the track of a killer, the party discovered a plot by a woman named Lillora, who had apparently been using Mayor Leafwood to acquire access to Zagahta's records regarding the town's heroes, the Crimson Force. Upon investigating Lillora and the evidence within her home, the party learned of Lillora's possible true nature, a deadly succubus practiced in the deepest forms of Shadowsoul magic, and capable of wielding the powerful artifacts known as soul gems. Curiosity also learned of a possible connection to himself, as the party found within Lillora's house a letter addressed to a former mayor of Zagahta and signed by the mysterious Defiance Zaitates The Magnificent. While most of the party was gathered in the familiar and grand shop of Tila's Mirror Image Potion Store, the Brune brothers left to uncover another mystery. A seemingly magical map in the possession of Olaf Brune led the two to the northwestern corner of the walled town, to a strange, old, and withered wood house. Upon its discovery, they encountered a young girl who indicated that her brother had snuck into the household and had yet to return. The brothers entered carefully into that wooden house and quickly discovered that strange building, while once might have been a place of splendor, was now nothing more than a dying ruin. Finding indications that the young boy had made his way downstairs to the basement, they lit a torch and walked down the steps. Yet the stairs proved less stable than the two had hoped them to be, and upon the last step, Olaf took a tumble and fell to the ground, dropping his torch. We resume our story, as Olaf raises his head from the ground and looks up to see dozens of small, beady eyes making their way towards him and Gorm. Alright, guys. Gorm, as you stand in this room, you can feel a cold, drafty air coming from someplace ahead of you and rushing past you and your brother. You look down at him as he is slowly picking himself up off the wooden and sand-covered ground as it is. As he does, your ears pick up the sound of 1,000 tiny squeaks, and you peer through the darkness and see a dozen or more small fur-covered creatures rushing towards your prone brother. As you both contemplate your next move, I'd like you both to roll initiative.
It's just dexterity, right? I mean, unless you have it.
Yep. Give me 1 second to get the initiative counter up.
Also, we should click our moves first.
Is that an effect for like flickering torchlight? That's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Yes, I found like a code, whatever. I'm losing the name right now, but yeah, for that, and I'm trying to use it more often. So you guys can go ahead and roll Initiative. Okay. I'm not going to have the rats all go at individual times because that would take too long. They're just going to all go at once. But fortunately, that means Olav, you get to go first.
Are we still running away?
Well, none of us has said that in character yet.
Okay. Let's run away.
Agreed.
Okay, how many... okay, 10. My speed is 10. That means I can move 10 squares.
You can move 6 squares, so we figured out that it's about 30 feet, because it's like 10 yards.
Okay, so just ignore the whatever that number is, and I can move 6 is my movement speed.
Yes, I'm intending to change the numbers, I just haven't yet.
Okay. Can I do like in Star Wars and move double speed?
I think you can spend another action on movement.
Is that a thing in this game?
I need to pull up the sheet though.
Yes, you can use your major action to run, which will double your speed.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Hi guys.
Stop existing.
Hey,
It's fine. So we'll say, okay, so we'll just say, Olav, you run up the stairs, keeping track of the ones that you saw that were a bit rickety, and you avoid any holes that you remember from coming down here. And that you charge up and make it up out of the actual basement. You have a minor action if you'd like to use it at all.
No, not really, but I want to yell over my shoulder. Leave the torch, I'll buy you another one.
oh, you dropped it?
That's what Zeri said in the intro. She said I dropped it when I fell. I say she lies, but she's the GM and she gets to do that.
Alright, that concludes your turn. It is the rat's turn. Alright, as the rats come running up to you, Gorm, your brother takes off behind you. He runs up the stairs. You hear him shout from behind. Fortunately, the rats are not as fast as your brother, and only one group of them can manage just to get it within range of you. And you can see that it is a group of them, probably a dozen or so, all charging up, looking rabid and disgusting, and it just with these red, beady eyes that stare up at you. They're all gonna try and take a bite out of you. Does that hit?
Let's see, my defense is 12 or something. Yeah, my defense is, let's see, what was that? It's 10.
Mm-hmm.
What do they have to hit me?
What's your defense?
12.
Then that's a miss. So, several of them try and swarm up your leg, and you kick them off. A few bite it at your hanging robes, but only get little pieces of it. You manage to shake most of the ones that tried to get through your actual to your actual skin before they can. And it's their turn. You're up.
I will follow suit and run away.
Okay.
And yeah, I will use the run major action as well.
Okay, the two of you make it up. You make it up to the top room, up where the doorway was, towards the basement. You, looking down, you see that the rats have begun to swarm up the stairs, trying to make their way at you. Olav, what are you gonna do?
Well, I mean, I'm at the edge of the map. I want to keep heading for the exit of this building and leave.
So do you want to leave the building, or do you want to try and do something to stop them from coming after you?
They're slower than me. I just want to outrun them.
All right.
But I mean, I don't know where I'm going to go because the map stops.
We'll say for the purposes of this, we'll just use our imagination.
Okay, then I want to move my speed back towards the exit. To the front exit that we came in through.
Easily done. The front exit is not too far away from the basement entrance, and you both, doubling your speed using your run movement, you're both able to easily outrun them. You make your way outside the entrance, back out into the desert sun. You see the small human girl standing as she was told to, waiting for you. But her eyes get wide as she sees the two of you bolting out. Gorm, as you leave the front entrance, you can hear the scurrying of rats. It sounds like they've just made it upstairs.
And so as we get out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. So as we get out, I'll say, "Oh, Rob, go get the others. I'll watch the girl."
Go get the who?
The others.
The elders?
The others. OTHERS.
Oh, okay. Maybe we should close the door and barricade it first so the rats can't get out. Do you want to try that?
As you're discussing this, the rats are coming up to the front of the door. And you hear them snarling and squeaking as their little feet patter across the wood.
I'd like to reach into my rations, grab one of the days worth of rations packages, and just throw it inside.
Okay, easily done. You throw the ration pack into the house. You see probably about half of them turn from the entrance and skitter off over to food, but the rest are still coming in. You've got a couple seconds before they cross the threshold of the doorway.
I shut the door.
Okay, you shut the door and you hear a thump, and you see maybe 2 or 3 rat bodies get crushed in the doorway as you shut it. One does manage to escape the door, but as soon as he realizes he's alone, he darts into the hole in one of the on the deckway and dives underneath the house, hidden from your view.
Am I pulling the door to hold it shut, or did I? Which way does the door swing?
You would be pushing it in with your elbow, so it goes into the house. You're pushing it.
So the door opens out then, because I'm trying to hold
Yes.
it closed. Okay. Is it securely latched? Is there a latch on the door?
You look and see if there's some sort of lock or something, but as you look down towards the handle, it looks like most of that has been rotted out, and so the door is shut, but you don't think that it wouldn't take very much for some weight to push up against it and reopen it.
I'm
Okay.
going to take my rope and tie the door shut. While he's holding it.
Okay, the handle's pretty rotted out. It's like I said, the door is shut for now, but it won't take very much pressure of any kind to kind of to unattach it, the handle, and the lock there.
So is there a way to hold the door shut consistently?
Make a perception check. Okay. You're looking for a way to hold the door shut. You do notice that some of the boxes that the little girl was hiding behind, they don't seem terribly damaged, just sort of ill-used, and they look like they might be heavy enough to keep the door closed and prevent things from coming out of it.
Yeah, so I'll go start moving those in front of the door.
Okay. As soon as you rush up and you start picking up boxes and moving them back to the door, which your brother is holding as much as he can, the little girl sort of kind of watches you puzzled, but also tries to hide behind whatever remains of the boxes. And as you're moving her hiding spot, she looks at you and she says, "What's going on? Did you find my brother?"
No, we need our companions to move forward. We will return.
There's a look of sort of confusion and not really understanding what you're saying, but when you say return, she sort of nods and she just crouches down to the last remaining box and just hides there. You moving 3 of these large boxes up against the door, the 2 of you manage to push them up against and almost completely take up the length and width of the doorway as you pretty certain that this is secure enough for now that it'll probably take the rats time to get through it if they try.
Maybe we should just let the rats out and we can explore the house without being rat bited.
And let them get at the girl.
She got legs.
I just have a feeling they'll just go for us. Either way, you should go get the others.
Do you think they're going to care about this?
At least a couple of them will, hopefully, and curiosity seems like the type to go in for anything.
Alright, I'll go try. I'm gonna jog back to the what do you call it? The hotel.
Okay.
Crimson Hotel.
Okay. You start heading back to the tavern. Gorm, are you staying with the girl?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay and watch the door and the girl.
Okay. As you leave Olav, heading for the tavern, the rest of you are just now exiting Tila's shop. You have completing your discussion with Tila, making some decisions about the information you have found and sort of what to do with it. You conclude a discussion about Curiosity's new companion and what he plans to do with his new item he's acquired. You begin making your way towards the upper district where you know that the mayor is the assistant mayor is awaiting your arrival. As you do, you cross by a small group of people. You see a couple of them are crowded around what looks to be maybe like a, well, I guess you'd actually know this, crowded around the jobs board. It's the same board that you found when you went to go take care of the troglodytes a couple of days ago. And you see a small group is muttering amongst themselves, and they're looking at the items on there. There seems to be a little bit of a buzz as you step up the ramp up into the upper district.
Oh, quite the buzz there. Do we want to take a look over there and perhaps see if we can't line up a little bit more work? Or do you want to just ignore it and pass by?
Before Barry and stops speaking, Winter starts running over there.
I suppose that answers that question.
Looks like you've got competition, Curiosity.
Well, it is better. It's far better that we help people out as much as we can while we can. Might as well see what's up.
Winter, as you push through the crowd, at first you're having a little bit of difficulty, but as you get in, more and more people, they just kind of look at you and they give you the side eye, but eventually they give way, and you're just able. You don't even care though. You're not even paying attention. You're wanting to see what's going on, and as you get in further and further, you see a single, written note with a nice red seal at the bottom, and the note written in very fine calligraphy, basically the gist says, archaeologists from the Sharsung Archivist Guild seeking adventuring group to take an escort, himself and cart, to the bone fields near Zagahta. 500 gold reward offered as long as archaeologists and materials return home in good condition. As you read the note, you hear a couple people murmur, 500 gold, man, that's a lot of money. I could deal with that. Oh, yeah. And then you hear another say, the bone fields. No one comes back from the bone fields. I mean, it's ludicrous. Who would be offering that much money? You hear, and then at the quarter, you hear another person say, well, I mean, for the right price, I would do just about anything. And just other little murmurs here and there about discussing this note that seems to be sort of fresh and peculiarly of interest to the people in town.
Have the others shown up yet?
Oh, they're right behind you. You sort of just left them and dug through the crowd. The rest of them are like just right there making their approach. Towards the back, none of them can really quite see the note yet, but with your enthusiasm, you've managed to push through the large of the group and get towards the front of it.
Are we allowed to take the note?
You may certainly try.
I'll just run back without the note and tell them. So I push back through the crowd and find the rest of my group.
As you, before you guys even have a chance to really see what's going on, you see Winter reemerges with a smile on her face, chipper as ever, pushing back through the crowd, and she looks up at Harmony, who's the first that you see.
So, I found out what's going on.
He just looks at you like, and without actually saying anything.
There's a archaeologist guild of some sort offering 500 gold just to make sure they get safe to some bone place and back.
That is an interesting proposition.
Meeting with the assistant mayor.
But yes, we have other things to deal with first, but this would definitely be a good part 2 afterwards.
What's this bone something but?
The bone fields, I think it was. Some people said it's a dangerous place, but I think we can take it. And I've, never seen 500 gold all in one place, so.
That is a lot.
Oh yes, I'm sure they're offering 500 gold for a safe, routine escort. Sounds about right.
Good point.
Yeah.
Also,
Harmony just starts
Bonefield
walking.
sound. That's not exactly a nice name.
It could be a local colloquialism for say, a graveyard. Particularly like an animal graveyard or something of that nature.
Or a monster graveyard.
I wasn't going to use the term monster, but it applies as well. A graveyard whereby creatures of indeterminate morality go to die, basically.
And likely high danger.
I think we should do it.
Yes, as you're all discussing this, Harmony has already gone up the ramp and is on his way to the second one near the High Town.
I believe first we should finish our task here, then see about the boneyard. That way it's easier on us.
Winter nods and heads to follow Harmony.
Come along, Curiosity. It appears your cat will have to wait to be satiated for at least a little while. Yes, I know he can't talk. I'm toying with him and teasing him, so.
Mean Mary.
As the rest of you follow behind, Harmony, you are the first one to arrive. You reach the mayor's office, and very familiar sight. Sandstone building with a plaque to the side. Very nice, clean cut outside. Do you wait for the others to arrive at the doorstep, or do you head inside?
Yeah, I'm not waiting for everybody. I'm just going in.
All right. Yes, I know, but I haven't moved everyone's tokens since the last time we were here, so.
It's okay.
Yeah, so, Harmony, you re-enter the mayor's office and are immediately, again, greeted by the tacky decorations. Although, you notice that some of the workers here are taking down some of the more yellowish and interesting of the tapestries and taking them down and removing and revealing actually nice clean-cut walls that have the faintest bit of art upon them. You see things like local flower and fauna kind of painted on here. It's actually kind of nice and it's tastefully done, and you kind of wonder why anyone would have covered them up with these really tacky and disgusting tapestries that have been covering them for quite some time. As you approach and make your way through the hallway, one of the servants notices you and holding up one of those ugly tapestries says, "Hello, can I help you?"
Yeah, here to meet with the assistant mayor.
Yes, I believe she's in the mayor's office, right that way, and he points directly behind him.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'll just head that way.
Okay. About this time, the rest of you enter into the hallway, and asking the same questions, you'll get directed there. Harmony, as you walk into the room, you see the assistant mayor. She looks kind of little haggard, tired, and she's got some sort of drink sitting next to her. And she seems to be reading and poring over some sort of documents in front of her. And as she hears your footsteps, she stops rubbing her brow, looks up to you and says, "Oh, hello, Harmony. Welcome back."
Oh, well, the rest of us should be showing up soon. They got a little bit distracted, but have you found anything?
I have, actually. I've now that I've had time, I have found a few things. I don't know how much help they're going to be to you, though. Most of what I found is really, well, it's what I haven't found, to be honest. She looks up as the rest of your party begins filling into the room.
Sorry to be tardy. We got a little distracted.
It's not a problem at all. To be honest, I think we're all a little bit distracted. Curiosity, good to see you. I was told you were the one who wanted this information. As requested, I did go back into our archives and I saw at least I tried to see what this woman might have been interested in. She uncovers some documents that were hidden under this like green leather-bound book, and she kind of moves that off to the side and spreads out a couple of documents on her desk, and she says, "To be honest, a lot of the files are missing. I don't know exactly what it is she was searching for, but I have been able to narrow down exactly what files are missing and what time period she was looking at." It seems that most of our files concerning Mayor Javiande and the particulars of the Crimson Force during her time are the ones that have been removed, missing the most. Dates of things that should have been there are no longer there. Continuing on looking, seeing if anyone will react to this, but seeing that no one says anything, she indicates to one of her documents, "The few things I have found, I don't think they're of any particular relevance, but I will share them with you if you like."
Go ahead. It could give us some insight as to what is going on.
Well, from what little I know of Mayor Giovanni, she was meticulous in the things that she recorded. This one document in particular, it is a part of the dedication of the Fountain of Heroes to the Crimson Force. And she takes it up and begins to read. It says, "In light of the actions of the brave protectors of Zagahta and their valiant effort in keeping this town from dangers that include repeated attacks on merchants by a nest of giant scorpions, their thoroughness of dispatching the local cult of the Blood Red Rose, and to commemorate their status as sentinels of Zagahta, we dedicate the newly rebuilt Fountain of Purity into the Fountain of Heroes." This was signed by Mayor Javandi. She sets it to the side. The other document I found pertaining to the time under Mayor Javandi is one about formalizing the Guild of the Golden Retaliant. And beyond that, I've only found a few references to unrelated things, housing documents, approvals for different shipments, but nothing else that seemed like it might be of import.
What was the name of that guild?
The Golden Retaliant? I can read the formalization if you like. But they're just a local guild here. They've been here for some time. But it looks like they were formalized about the same time as the Crimson Force was operating here.
Alright, who are the members of the first guild, at least?
I don't know. Unfortunately, that's probably one of the documents missing. The only thing that this one appears to be is some sort of paper trail for them becoming a legitimate guild within Zagahta. And she picks up the paper. By the way, all these papers look like they've yellowed quite a bit and are written in really nice handwriting, but you can tell that there's a lot of age to these. She's, as Heartgaze holds them, she's very, very careful and delicate with her handling of them. But she begins to read. On the recommendation of Druid Neilstooth the Merciful, the town of Zagahta hereby formally recognized the Guild of the Golden Battalion as a legal guild entitled to all the privileges and responsibilities. All hunting rights of the giant scorpions near and in the territory of Zagahta are given unto them, with the proviso that they keep the wildlife population to a manageable, non-lethal level for the people of said town. This was also signed by Mayor Javande. But other than that, I'm afraid I can't tell you much. It seems that this woman, whoever she was quite interested in things signed and done by Mayor Javande.
I would agree with that sentiment. She has an interesting curiosity on this. Our investigation has indicated that she is at least interested in Strile's Den. I'm not necessarily certain as to why, but she has at least some interest in this, and it is on the lines of troubling, to say the least.
That would explain why I can't find any documentation on Strile's Den, other than what I've written and others have, mentioning that it's here and on our maps. I was trying to find information after our last conversation about why it was abandoned long ago, but I can't find anything. You see, she kind of starts fiddling with things on the former mayor's desk, just like pens and little baubles, but she seems sort of absent-mindedly rearranging them, reordering them as she speaks to you all.
Well, part of that is because the Order of the Blood Red Rose was centered there at Strile's Den. They seem to have taken up residence there, and I'm not entirely certain as to why.
Curiosity seems to be trying to ask a question.
Not much more, Curiosity. Not much more than what legend says. From what I know from the documents that we do have, the Blood Red Rose cult, what did operate here for a small amount of time. We know just from history and repeated tellings that the Crimson Force was brought in to deal with the situation, or perhaps they came across our town when it happened. Again, these things are a bit lost, and I'm not fully up to date with all of the history of the town. There's a lot of things going on in the present that I have to keep track of. But from what all I know is what general information tells us. They were a cult that was around 300 years ago. They started in Drishan by a woman who had a tremendous amount of power. Some of their orders spilled over to other places, such as our own town, but as far as who they exactly were and their goals, or really what they were trying to accomplish here, I couldn't tell you. if Mayor Javandi knew, I'm afraid that information has died with her and the records that are missing. She kind of looks at the rest of you, though, a bit expectantly, and she says, "Anyway, though, you mentioned you've been investigating. Would you mind, please, telling me what you have learned, and if at all, anything that might give us closure, so that I can announce to the town we should be preparing for the mayor's burial soon, and I'd rather not leave his death open and up for interpretation to the public."
It's definitely, yes, quite intriguing. We have just a couple of things. Again, we've been following this Lillora, I believe is what her name is, and it's just becoming one of those things of the further down the rabbit hole.
She frowns at you. I don't, what are you saying? Did you find any information or not?
Some, not much. What we have is conjecture, and we can't base anything off of conjecture. But it does appear that Miss Lillora was definitely looking for this particular event, which is quite interesting considering that this is the same place that we cleared out of troglodytes a while back.
That'd be 2 days back.
The other day.
See her sit back in her chair, and she looks at you, and for the first time she looks at you all a little suspiciously, and you can see a small flash of frustration goes across her face before she tries to recompose herself. I don't understand. You say you found this Lillora and you have conjecture. You seem a bit hesitant to share it with me. Is something wrong? Did you find anything? Do you know who murdered the mayor? Was it this Lillora person? Was it something else?
Not without causing you great discomfort and concern. And again, it is only conjecture because we don't have actual proof. Until we have actual proof, I feel like it is best not to say exactly what's happened. But we do believe it is this Lillora.
Can you at least tell me then why she killed him?
That I wish I knew.
What do you expect me to say to my people? You've been doing... And she catches herself before you can see she's starting to get a bit irritated and is trying very hard not to get upset with you all. I appreciate your wanting to spare my feelings, but I feel like that went out the window the moment I saw my mayor, my colleague, and the man I called my friend dead in the most horrific way possible. I think I can handle anything else that comes forth. I need to tell my people something. They will not be satisfied with me saying that a woman that we didn't really know came and murdered our mayor, and there's no conclusive reasoning. There will be a witch hunt for a woman that we know nothing about. I need something, anything, to tell them, or else I fear it will send my town into disarray that I don't think we're fully prepared to handle.
Ari, maybe the not knowing is worse.
Can I do an insight check on her or something to see if this really is Miss Heartgaze?
Sure. Go ahead and do... This... I would say this would be an empathy check, so...
Well, Barry for that has like a +5, but Ari on that and doesn't even have that trained, so is that perception or intellect?
That's perception. You don't know Mayor Heartgaze that well, and so as far as like being able to suss out her general countenance and if this is the real her or not, you can't really read her as far as that. She seems to be in earnest, though. She seems to be, what you can tell, she seems to be genuinely concerned and pure in her desire to know the truth, but you are detecting a bit of irritation as she's starting to be a bit suspicious with your sudden wanting to withhold information from her.
It's possible that forces beyond us are involved in this. I will say that Deathroot was involved, possibly as more of a means of manipulation rather than anything else. But I will also reveal that shadow magic is involved. It is best that you probably tell your people that the investigation is ongoing. Anything more than that, and I'm concerned that the witch hunt would actually become more of a panicked riot and evacuation of the town.
As soon as you say shadow magic, which I assume you actually mean is Shadowsoul magic, which is something Ari would know.
Yeah.
So I will substitute that for you. Her suspicion is not entirely gone, but you do see sort of an understanding come to her. And she kind of looks off in the distance, looks to the side to one of the windows leading to the outside, and says, I see. Well, I suppose then I will just have to come up with some sort of story. You're certain that Shadowsoul magic is involved?
We found remains of a soul gem.
She frowns. A what?
A soul gem. Particular item used to capture the souls of those who have gone on to the Shadow Veil.
That perfect timing. Curiosity and Harmony come back into the room. And Harmony pulls it out of his bag. It's this.
Yes, Harmony found a piece of it, and that's what it is. We are fairly certain that that's what that it is a soul gem, and
Fragment.
yeah, that it is a fragment of a soul gem, and it is not the best idea to let the public know, at least not right now.
She reaches Harmony for the soul gem as though to take it. Do you let her?
Nope. I'm just gonna hold it out.
May I see it?
Yeah, I guess I'll hand it to her.
She takes it and looks at it.
Tila said it won't do anything now that it's been used once.
Used? Are you saying that this is what she used on the mayor?
No. Well,
It was used to animate a bone creature at that attacked us at the house.
A bone creature?
A creature made of bones, about yay high, and Eri will reach up, say about yay high to about how high it was compared to him, and it had about 4 arms.
How tall was it? Can even you reach that high?
Given Eri's height, that would give him a arm span of about 9 to 10 feet, so he could reach at least that high.
It was about 10 to 12 feet tall. Probably.
Okay, is that comment in chat canon?
Curiosity
Yeah.
shouts out, "Don't worry, Assistant Mayor Hotgaze. We've decided you're not the succubus. Thank you, little one." It's at about that point that Eri looks over at Curiosity. "Thank you for satiating that."
well, that was the greatest way to talk about that. I was getting there, Curiosity. I was getting there.
Vindic kind of floats down to Eri's shoulder and face palms.
Anyway, no, that's not what was used on the right. The stone only works on souls that are in the Shadow Veil, so no. I believe that that person who's going as Lillora is actually a succubus. And Tila said that it could change shape to look like other females, so it's a little bit dicey. So she can change her appearance, so she could be anyone, hypothetically. Well, not anyone, but a large group of people.
Hence my hesitation. I do apologize for that.
Her face is interesting. It's a wave of confusion, horror, a bit of mistrust, and just being overwhelmed. You guys have blurted a lot of information at her at once, and she's just sort of like not sure how to take it. Still holding the soul gem, she looks at it, she looks back at you all and sort of scans all your faces, and then turn back to the fragment and turns it over in her hand. Well,
that's why we were reluctant to load that on you there.
And she takes the soul gem fragment and she hands it back to you, Harmony. She crosses her arms over the book, the open book in front of her, which seems to be some sort of log book, notebook. You can't quite tell, but she crosses her hands over it for a moment, and then she puts her hands back up so that they're underneath her chin. She finally speaks. Well, I'm not sure that the truth of this incident can be revealed to my people at this time. I'll come up with something. Ren should be informed, though, about all of these things. He should know so that he can better prepare. How did you find out Lillora's true nature?
A good deal of it was due to the fact, or due to the way the results of the autopsy came back. They indicate the use of Shadowsoul magic, and together with several other things, Tila postulated that it was a succubus.
I believe correctly she said something about only necromancers and demons being able to use these soulstone things. So
Yes.
that combined with how the mayor was killed, she said something about like a death kiss or something.
Also, the way the mayor was manipulated.
So, then Tila was the one who told you this.
Correct.
Very well. I shall discuss then with her how best to prepare the town, and if there's anything we can do to keep our borders safe. Ren and I will take care of it. Right. As for the rest of you, though, I appreciate what you've done. You've done a great deal for the town. You managed to help me in many ways. I appreciate you eventually trusting me. Is there any way I can reward you or help you?